Sports Video Group is coming to you from the exhibit hall of the 2018 SVG Summit in New York City. Brandon Costa from Sports Video Group here with you, joined by a very good friend of Sports Video Group, Mr. Mike Francis from CBS Sports. Mike, thanks so much for being here. Great to see you. How's everything going?
Very good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. You were on a session here today discussing HDR, high dynamic range. It's a very popular topic in the industry right now. So take us through how CBS has gotten involved with HDR. How much have you gotten a chance to kind of play in that space? What do you feel you've learned along the way, and what are some of the benefits you're finding from it?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been, on the research side, been dealing with HDR for, better part of 3-4 years at this point.
Okay.
As far as, executing shows, we've done, we've acquired an HDR for the last 2 years on our 4K HDR events that we've been doing with AT&T and DirecTV. At our major golf tournaments, as well as a couple of our regular season golf tournaments. So it's been quite a process. The vast amount of R&D and lab work we've done to really, kind of lay out our workflows, what works for us, how we can keep the shows to the production value level that they're used to and not feel like they have to sacrifice a lot of content and graphics and technology because we're doing HDR. So that's been the challenges and the focus of our progress there.
Cool. And with what sports, if you could pick one or two, do you feel like it's really added some value to what you guys have done?
So for us, as far as actual real-world application, we've only done shows around golf courses.
Oh, okay. All right.
We've done testing elsewhere,
all right.
but actually, based on that testing and the real-world application, golf is the home run for us.
Sure, yeah.
We could see a lot of benefit in football. Outdoor sports, there's a real, as you know, wide range of contrast involved with sunny spots and shadowy spots, and how we can, highlight both and show the detail in both areas at the same time, which is the major challenge in SDR.
Sure. Hard turn into another technology they might be working in, which is IP. Really under the hood kind of stuff here, but how have you guys continued to innovate in that regard, and how might that continue to impact you as you look ahead to 2019?
Well, IP has helped us grow in a sense that we can do a much larger event with a single core production facility. We've been dealing with IP basically since they started putting them in mobile units about the last 3 years now.
Yeah.
And we've we really started not taking a lot of advantage of IP with the exception of capacity and scale of show. But now that we're getting a little further down the road and we have multiple IP facilities at our disposal, we have been utilizing the ability to interconnect IP routers together without going back to a baseband distribution and then back to IP, which is actually a big help for us, because every time you do that encapsulation, decapsulation, encapsulation, decapsulation again process, you're adding latency each step of the way. So for us to be able to trade, what I think ends up being 128 by 128 signals by connecting fiber between a couple of routers has been not only a cable saver, a time saver, and it creates less latency problems within the compound.
I have to imagine that's huge. All right, so 2019, obviously the big thing that's on the horizon. You guys are in rotation for Super Bowl this year, Super Bowl 53, down in Atlanta, first one at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. You guys have gotten very familiar with that venue, SEC championship game, plenty of NFL games throughout the years.
Right.
Anything, obviously I don't want you to blow the lid off anything yet, but what can you tell us about prep?
I'm going to peel the curtain too far back, but we got a lot going on there. We're going to, be covering the game, at a massive scale, as usual with the Super Bowl. Lots of fun, different technologies will be, showcased. And, just speaking in broad terms, you're going to see AR, you're going to see a lot of 4K.
Okay.
And high-resolution pan and scan in super slow motion. And just, the tools that really help tell the story. We take a careful approach to technology and try to make sure it fits within the actual storytelling, and don't try to force it in for the sake of doing more technology.
Sure.
So
and that venue, obviously, pretty excited to see it. I mean, for being a year old, I mean, it's had some pretty big events in there already. National championship, SEC championships. They just had a killer MLS final. I mean,
exactly. So they've got a lot of practice on their end.
Yeah, right. So how do you feel about that as a venue that you've gotten the chance to work with?
It's a gorgeous venue, architecturally, and it's wired to the T, partially because of us and Fox, helping manage that side of it. We're really excited about doing it there. We're a little space challenge, as we always are at Super Bowl. I mean, we're building essentially small cities. It's not just rolling in the few mobile units we would typically do to televise an NFL game. It's, I think we're up to somewhere in the neighborhood of 18 mobile units, office trailer parks, and lots of workspace inside and outside the venue. So, it's a work in progress, but we're feeling really good about where we're at and about what we're going to be able to do in February.
Well, we're very excited to see what you guys have up your sleeves for that game. Mike, thanks so much for being a part of this event, for supporting us.
Thanks for having us.
And thanks for taking the time with us here on the show.
All right, take care.
All right, thanks a lot. For more coverage of what's going on here at the SVG Summit, we're going to have content for you throughout the next couple of weeks. Video interviews, sessions from the stage. It's all available now over at sportsvideo.org.